Danielle, what was your favorite place in Europe? Tell us why.
Budapest and Prague, because they were the easiest to be in. Like,
They were the easiest places to get laid.
it was the easiest to like navigate around and just for a day to fall into your lap. A day that was awesome. Like you could just walk outside and
you knew where to go. All the biggest buildings were definitely the places.
You didn't have to.
You
Yeah.
can see them in the sky.
Let's go there.
That's the one.
Yeah, like which most places in Europe you
What's
can.
it called? Who cares?
You like that is the case. Like let's go to the big building. But for some reason, those two cities, like
They were more walkable.
yeah, they were walkable and they were approachable, but still like exciting and otherworldly, like very much so. But it wasn't like you walk outside and you're like, what the hell do I do?
We were in Prague on like a Tuesday, and we were coming across one of the bridges, and it was like sun had just gone down. It was like 9:30 or something, and we look over to we're crossing the Danube, and if you look like along the Danube, whatever direction, you could see like the whole skyline, which isn't much. It's not like New York City or anything, but it's like it's gorgeous for a pre-medieval or whatever city.
Yeah.
And they have like a castle. Prague Castle is there on the horizon and everything, and all of a sudden fireworks start going off on a fucking Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we're the only people on this giant ancient bridge.
Yeah.
And we're like looking around like, is this for us?
What's happening?
Is this just for
Chris
us?
just goes, what is Tuesday?
Is it a holiday?
What, they do it every day or
so
something?
I have no idea.
They only did it on Tuesday.
I feel like it feels so easy to say that that America has no history because it has a couple hundred years, but it has to feel it's energizing to be in a place that has like thousands of years of human history and
There's something
action
about it.
and energy and so like whatever it might be, all the dead people there might be creating a certain amount of.
But do you only notice that as somebody with a country with a very young history? Because I feel like the people who live there, that's just how it is.
They're different than us Europeans. Greatly
Yeah,
different.
well, I mean, most people.
Certain cities have like a vibe though. I don't know what
But
it is.
in like I think every European I met feels cultured, and maybe it's because they're all on top of each other. Maybe it's because New York and New Jersey are the same distance. as
Well, no,
France and
it's
Spain.
more so because you're defining culture on European art.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
like the
meeting
great
other
things are
Europeans.
those things that are European. Like, oh, let's go see all that European art. Fuck all that. I mean, if you like, like I could say the same thing
Fuck
about
all that.
American art, right? Like, I'm just like I could idolize
Like,
American art so
Adam
much.
loves America. I don't get it, but that's because
I do.
You love
Yeah.
I mean, I love America.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm not trying to live out in America.
Yeah.
America's tired.
It's
Well,
all
no,
about
I
your
mean,
experience,
American
I
history
think.
is my least favorite part of history class. always.
Well, yeah, because you're the most knowledgeable in American history, probably. Tell me one thing
I
about
am,
what is
I-
going on in Europe in 1800s. One thing. Go.
Charles Darwin.
Printing press.
Writing.
There's some things.
The lily pads.
Probably the
for
printing
me.
presses. Yeah, but
No,
That's
yeah,
not
fair.
1800.
Yes, it
Right.
is. The lily pads.
we're talking about
Oh, I thought you were talking about the printing press.
Oh, when was
Printing
that?
press is like the 1500s.
Wait, that wasn't the 1800s?
No, we
The
mixed a
printing
lot of
press
things up.
basically brought
Printing press was
us
a lot
out of the
different.
medieval time frame into the Renaissance
Wait, just look
because
up the Gutenberg
ideas
So the
would
sev-
be able to be passed around like in a way that was.
That was
able
like
to educate
hot
people.
technology.
Oh, so they had the printing press in the 1800s.
In the 1800s, like
What do you know?
streetcars?
I think we.
Because I
already
just said
established
printing
this.
press, so I'm not wrong.
What's crazy to
That's-
think about is like the novel is not even like 200 years old, like as a form.
Well,
And
the
it's already
novel.
out of style.
The novel is not novel. Still though.
There is no novel.
There's no such thing as a novel. The first
I
novel.
wonder
The
what is
first
the
novel
top-
was the Bible.
What is the top 20 novels right now?
Oof.
Probably
tell me.
some like.
I don't
Like,
want to
is
know.
nonfiction considered a novel? No. Right?
Well, what do you mean by right now?
No.
Like
I just mean
there-
like, what's the New York Times bestsellers list?
Oh
Who
fuck!
cares?
Well,
Like,
if that's
we're
what you're measuring it on.
Who cares?
Well, who cares? Is like the people who are on the New York Times bestseller list.
You mean
like,
James
Yeah.
Patterson like
Yeah,
4
who
times?
cares? I could give a fuck less about the New York Times bestseller list. They can suck my dick. They're fucking bullshit. I haven't
Well,
read it
Nick,
good.
if I was gonna say to anyone, I could see you being on the New York
No,
Times bestseller
I wouldn't want to be. Honestly, like I mean, like if they, I know that sounds fucking stupid, but like that's some bullshit. Like I don't want to be
Wait,
I don't want to be
aren't they
canceled.
choosing like like sales numbers or no?
No, what it is,
There's gotta
the
be
New York Times
politics
bestseller
involved.
list is it's basically like how can we vomit a pile of words into the last pile of words so it doesn't look like a pile of vomit anymore. That's what stories are in the New York Times. That's what editorials are in the New York Times. I don't respect the New York Times bestseller list.
I feel like it's like popcorn movies to some degree. Like Jurassic World is not a great movie, but it'll make a lot of money. It'll probably be at the top of the.
Right, and you know Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park novel was dope, and the fact that it's like the fact that I actually don't know if that's true. I want to
I'll bet it is.
I want to fact check you. I want to fact check
That
you.
movie came out.
I bet it's true.
I mean, it
the
probably
fact that we
is.
might believe it is enough.
I want to know. I mean, you're probably right. Because it was a dope book. But that was like with the New York Times, like,
No,
you know,
but that's what
matter.
I'm saying. That's my argument is that
Oh, so it doesn't
It's
matter
less
anymore.
value.
No, and it's not that it doesn't matter
novels are
because
valued less.
it doesn't not matter because Donald Trump said
David
that New
Sedaris
York
is
Times
New
is
York
fake
Times.
news. That's not why I'm saying that.
Non-fiction.
No, I-
No, but what I'm saying, memoirs are sort of the most valued form of.
No, I think so.
They're highly commoditized right now. It's
What
very-
sells the best? James Comey's book is the best-selling book, right?
Yeah,
of the
I mean,
year.
I've read it. I think
What
like
does that say about us at this moment? I don't think that's.
no, what it says is that like truth
Sometimes
matters
Matters
more.
than now.
No, truth matters more than fiction right now.
Sometimes
it
there's
says.
good things on there. Like I'm pretty sure Cavalier and Clay was on
Well, I'm
there.
not saying it's
and-
necessarily bad. I'm just saying that, like, I don't know what I'm
It's
saying.
not
I guess I'm saying that, like, the novel isn't the way to reach the people.
No,
You
I
know,
mean
or-
it really isn't. But
You know.
but I would say that like. All right, here's a good
I
question.
guess it
So like,
matters if that's important to you or not.
okay, so how much did House of Cards like matter to you in terms of like how you thought about politics?
No,
And I read
not at all.
0%.
None at all. Right. Like I would say same. Like
Yeah.
it was a dramatized show about politics, right?
But you're asking the wrong thing. I don't care about politics. to be
No,
honest.
right, but if anything was going to make you care about politics, if anything was going to make you care about politics, it's not
It was
going to
like the
be
Game of Thrones of
a
politics.
fictionalized version of some politics.
I don't know. What about like SNL?
No, like that's going to make you care about
Satire.
politics. That's going to make you
Not
laugh
necessarily me, but
at the
there are people
ridiculousness.
who
It's going to
don't
make you
give a shit
care
about
even
politics
less
and
about
watch
politics.
SNL.
Yeah, maybe.
It's actually, I think it's going to
Fair.
even disenfranchise you more from politics, where you feel like there are things to laugh about that it's so ridiculous over there in the political spectrum that it doesn't matter. It is worth laughing at. Like I think like I don't know, like you really have. Ah, fuck, man.
These kinds of things are cumulative, right? Like they add to like a cultural consciousness of like how you feel about a thing. Like we almost can't think about President Bush without seeing Will Ferrell doing like a
Right.
reductive impersonation of him,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or think of even just the idea of a reductive impersonation of President Bush. It's like part of our cultural memory now,
But
so it
it's
does
also-
inform
It's
us.
also interesting to see like how our generation watches the news. Like I think about we got it from the Daily Show, right, which is sort of a satirical take on the news, right? It's not
Right, but
a
even
conventional form.
even the Daily Show was like a political reaction, right? Like
Mhm.
that was like
But it's also I would consider that firmly an entertainment.
absolutely it was comedy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Jon Stewart always claimed
Yeah, yeah,
comedy
yeah.
over
More?
news,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Which I think is
Yes,
fair.
please.
Chris,
I think
you wanna
that's
drink?
fair. Like,
No, I don't want to.
but I would also say that
'Cause I think
comedy
Don't worry
comedy
about it.
is
No, I'm good.
news.
Sure.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
I think that's the difference is that
Drink?
yeah.
Do you want a cider?
like satire
No, I'm alright.
is
Thank you.
news.
You have cider?
Yeah,
The
you want
way
cider?
that
Yeah.
the way that generations since the Daily
I
Show
think
have
that's-
really digested news is that like it's like
Thanks.
it's this thing that's a part of us, like
That was
this like
beautiful.
satirical thing of like, oh, we need to know what's going on, but the only way for us to really know what's going on is for us to be able to make fun of it while we learn about it.
Yeah.
You know? So,
I
like-
honestly don't think a lot of people would have sought out political news had it not been packaged in satirical form. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in that way, I think it can be useful for whatever that.
Nick, it must be you, but we've never gotten so into politics. With
You guys have
microphones
done this
there.
before?
No. So I got
You fucking liars. You fucking coerced me into this.
said this was the first
Special
one.
guest Nick Beecher. Guest Nick
He has
Beecher
a lot
freaks
to
out.
say about a lot of cutting topics. No, I
I'm
have
sorry
a-
that this has gotten to politics.
No, we haven't gotten to a place that was bad. No one yelled.
No,
one
I mean,
yelled.
but this isn't. I mean, I wouldn't say this. It's political though. Like,
No, we're just having broad.
Everything is political, man.
Yeah, actually, that's more on point. Like everything is politicized. Like we could talk about any topic.
I hate the
Give
word.
me a subject. Give me abortion. Of course, politicized. Boom.
Give me
What's the
abortion.
occupation?
Give me abortion. Give me beer.
What's the people
I can
called who go
politicize
on
beer.
CNN and MSNBC and talk bullshit? What are they called?
Pundits.
Pundits.
Yeah.
They're some of the worst people.
Oh, I
in the
mean,
world.
I
Like,
actually,
if your
actually.
credential is pundit.
Let me be a defender of the pundit right
Okay.
now. Is that the pundit is not the problem?
You
The
got
platform
him.
is the problem. CNN, NBC, MSNBC, all of these fucking bullshit media platforms are the problem. Where they give pundits, quote unquote, the idea that you can pack an entire nuanced conversation into 3 to 6 minutes, and you can make that matter to
That's
the world.
bullshit.
And yeah, that is a terrible way for rhetoric.
But there's a difference between
we
a
wouldn't
pundit
even-
and Cornell West who has like a PhD and like they sort of treat these people the same. Do you
But-
actually have like knowledge in this field? Or are you
Right,
just
but
someone who's pretty?
give Cornell West an hour
yeah.
a debate
Yeah.
with another person that on the other side of Cornell West views. Like I'm not a Cornell West fan, but I
No,
am a
me
fan
neither.
of him actually getting a chance
says
to
what he
talk his
believes.
fucking mind, like to get a chance to actually say what he really thinks versus a 10-minute clip of him retorting this fucking dumbass anchor that I don't give a fuck about. He's supposed to be neutral in some way. CNN, MSNBC fucking news anchors. Don Lemon can suck my dick. He's a fucking asshole. Talking
wait.
about like all these like you're talking about
Hold the brakes. Hold the brakes.
Oh, dude. No,
All right, guys.
Hold the
it's
brakes.
bullshit, man.
It is
I agree,
bullshit.
I agree.
But I got a good question, I think, and I think this will. What is your like? Okay, so when do you guys sort of define when you feel like you've actually been collecting memories that you remember? Like around 5 or like past 5?
Oh my god, I don't remember
Oh
anything.
man, that's
I'm
like
terrible
a-
with age too. I don't know.
fucking visceral shift
Like
from
10
the thing I was just
maybe?
thinking of.
What was the question?
Like when did you feel like you started actually collecting memories in a way that like you identify as self? Like
First grade,
No idea.
probably
Like our-
6 or 7 years
yeah,
old.
I'm thinking 10, 11, 12ish.
That's got to be under than that.
Masturbating in the bathroom, wishing I had a bigger dick. Like around that.
Whoa,
No, I
let's
had like
unpack
a
that.
in like kindergarten. I think it was like pre-K or kindergarten. Actually, I was like under the table with like 3 other kids.
Dude.
It was like a boy and 2 girls.
And the girl showed her vagina.
Yeah, and I showed my pee-pee and
Dude!
did all kinds of stuff.
I
Like
Did
that.
we go to the same middle
Okay.
school?
Let me see your let me see your pee-pee. I'll let you know.
Did I show you my pee-pee?
Everyone has an experience
Okay, so
like
the
that.
line is different. Ages for different.
That's
the
so
que-
weird
my
that that
question
happened to
is-
you. That exact situation
I know,
happened to me in first grade.
Yeah, no, for me it was kindergarten or pre-K, and
It was
my
first grade.
teacher pulled me out, all of us out. It was because we were the oldest ones. We were about to like graduate kindergarten or something, so they would let us play in like our own space
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
leave us alone for a long time
You're
because
the
they had
toys.
to, yeah,
See
because
you
they had
guys
to fuck with
later.
the other kids, yeah.
Did you get, like you went under the table?
And we went under the table. It was a
Under
big
the table?
cloth that went all the way to the
Dude,
floor.
This girl like whipped her pussy out, right?
Oh my
First pussy I ever saw. First pussy
Like
I
it
ever
was a
saw, dude.
sword.
I want to say it was like there was another boy that
She
instigated the
pussy.
thing when I was there, but I don't
No,
remember
no.
that clearly. But anyway, the teacher got very like angry and like strict with us and was like, no,
Keep your
this is
pussy
not
away.
something. Yeah,
Put your
I
pussy
think we were
away.
all like pants down when and my mom, when my mom picked us up, we were all sitting in different corners of the room or whatever. My mom was furious.
Oh,
She was
yeah.
like, you are going to give these kids a complex, and she had a talk with me on the way home, like about the whole birds and the bees and like how it was okay. She tried to like make sure that I didn't feel shame about it and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like really applaud her for that.
Yeah, your mom was really cool about
That's
that
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was super young
I
too.
had a very
okay,
si-
so you
So
want to talk about
so-
identity? You want to talk about identity? It started young for me, dude.
So that I guess he already answered my question, but the question is rather, what is like something you remember from like when you can't really remember things that like it's an image that sticks out to you really well.
I can tell you, I was face down with my purple folder in kindergarten, and I remember waking up and there was like a rule on it, and that I had appendicitis.
Oh my god! I read it in the drool.
Like 8? Oh.
My mom, so I told her I had a spelling test in the morning, and she
You're
thought,
going to school.
and I had a stomach ache, and she's like, you're just nervous for your spelling test. So she sent me to
America!
school. So she sent me to school, and I fell asleep with my folder, and they told me I needed to go home, and they took me to the hospital, and I had
Oh my God.
just having a rupture.
Did you have like a surgery after that?
Yeah, that
Jesus.
day they took me to surgery. Yeah.
I remember I had this Batman. It was like you just wore the face mask, and the face mask would lead into a cape sort of thing. And I would we lived in like one of those 3-story houses, semi-attached, and I ran into the banisters, and my head got stuck in the banisters. And I just remember that. That's all I really remember from that. Like,
How old do you think you were?
I don't know, maybe 6 or 5 or something. Because we settled in. I remember I can only measure it because I just know we moved a lot, and I can measure it by time. Like I remember watching The Empire Strikes. Me and my sister had to share a room at one point. I remember watching The Empire Strikes Back in that room. Like that's how I sort of remember it, tying it to like movies. It's weird in that sense.
I don't know which things that I have that are like my memories and which things I've heard my mom tell
Yeah,
people.
that's so weird.
Yeah.
I agree.
I like I have this memory of me being held out a window when I was peeing by my mom's friend because she didn't know how to change a diaper or something, so she just like let me pee out of our apartment window. But I don't know if that's me remembering that or if that's me hearing my mom tell that to
Like a
people.
bastardized version.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Same thing. I remember being held over an alligator pit. Also, probably didn't happen. Probably just a story.
Where did you find
Your
it?
grandfather held you over the alligator pit. He probably just lifted me up to see the gate alligator. But the story I remember
It's like
is like
exaggerated.
Being dangled.
That's why I love
That's great.
listening to like my grandmother tell a story, and then my grandfather's like, no, that's not how it happened. And he explains it, it's like a completely different flavor of a story.
That's what was cool about that American Animals movie too.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah, that was
Did you see that, man? You gotta see
Oh, so good. I loved
Yeah.
it.
Multiple different versions of the same story going on simultaneously.
Well, technically-
That's
Oh,
like,
mine-
I do want to do that.
Mine-
Danielle, what's an
Just
image?
in, like,
What's
a
like a memory that sticks out for
Like
you?
I think I told you about the
Sorry.
like, just like the person drowning over and over, like 100 different ways of saying like
Yeah,
the couple drowned. In
I
the
like
pool.
that structure a lot.
I still want to write that
Oh,
book.
you
but-
wrote that. I read one of your pieces for that, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I wrote like the first short story out of it, but like,
Someone was like tied up. And,
yeah, the idea was that just like I would have like probably like 10 to 15 different stories of the same thing happening in different universes where it was just a couple drowning in a pool. That's the idea.
And you create like the different reasons why they got there.
Yeah,
The different
yeah.
ways it
So I
ends.
build
That's
the,
cool.
the structure of the plot around each new start. So like I started that one that I did for workshop with them being like duct taped, and there was like this whole like conspiracy around like like how the U.S. like used DMT to like restructure the mindset for Middle America, and it's really dumb. But then,
No, what's cool is you're creating like an archetype or like a myth around this mythos around this drowned couple.
Yeah, no, but I like
like that.
I really like the I think the idea of a recurring ending where it's like the same ending of different stories. I think is really
It could be really generative. It gives you the opportunity to explore different writing styles and different mini structures within the larger superstructure. I think that could be really fun to explore.
yeah.
Danielle, tell us about your memory.
Well, I don't know if mine is a memory or a dream. But it's like an image, and I'm like thinking that there's no way that I can actually remember it because it was like when I was in a crib and like 1 or something like that. I just have a memory of like there being a really loud like raucous party at my house and like waking up during it, and my mom coming into the room, and she was like looking the way that she looked in the early 90s with like her tight afro hair and like giant glasses like this in like a house dress or whatever, like a house frock.
That's amazing.
Just looking really chill and just like coming and grabbing me and like sitting with me in a rocking chair. That's all I remember.
That's so vivid.
It's like a extremely vivid image for me.
That's possible. Why wouldn't that be possible?
Yeah, I mean, I want to trust it.
I remember
It
a lot of
sounds
times
real.
sleeping over my.
Like there's no like absurdity to it that
Yeah.
like I wouldn't believe.
It feels very
you know?
vivid.
It
Yeah.
feels real. It just feels like I shouldn't have a memory like that, but
Right. I mean, you might as well.
It's so
though.
simple.
yeah, exactly. It's extremely simple. Like it's not like.
I buy it. I buy it.
Anything
There's
special.
no like magic happening.
I believe it.
But in
You
that,
wrote
it's
you write that as
magical.
nonfiction, and I'm not gonna question it.
Looking back, I realized how much my parents partied. Like I slept over my
yeah,
parents,
for sure.
like friends' houses. So like I've slept over my family's friends' houses so many times. Let's watch The Lion King 2 in the attic.
The
What are you
second
guys
one.
doing down there?
This is before there ever was a Lion
We're
King
playing
2.
a game you guys can't watch.
Shut up! Don't
Okay,
don't
wait.
come downstairs.
So Danielle, since you went last, I got another question. You're gonna go first for this one.
What about
Okay.
Nick? What was yours?
Yeah, Nick didn't go.
I did.
I did one. Wait,
What would you do?
I thought I did
Your
one.
first like
Memory.
primordial memory.
Or was it the kindergarten?
I mean, that wasn't really. I had a response, but it wasn't that. What was the question?
Like, what's your first primordial memory? Like, what's the first thing
Primordial.
you remember of like your?
What do I remember
your
before
gooiness?
I was born?
Yeah.
Oh
No,
my
like, what's
God.
the first thing you like? What's an image that sticks and be like
happened to my like DNA.
of your pre?
When you were
like,
crawling
what,
out of the
When you
ooze.
think of the myth of Nick Beecher, who Nick Beecher is, what do you think of before that? What is the?
What?
Who is the pre-myth?
What's that mean?
We all are a myth of our own selves.
I feel like their setup was way less.
No,
Like,
it's like, what was your first memory?
Like, what's supposed to
like,
Wait, it's got to
what's
come
my-
back to me now that I know it's
That
about
you
the
think you
mythology of
had
myself.
My first memory.
before
Nick.
You started having consistent memories, I guess.
The mythology.
Nick, tell me about the mythology.
I don't know. Like I have a
What's
shit.
your first memory? Like,
I have a shit memory. So like my first memory was.
You say shit or ship?
A shitty. I have a
Ship.
shitty. I have a ship.
Ship.
I have a
Ship
memory.
memory.
Ship memory. I
Are you
remember
on a
all
ship?
Types of ships.
Or is the memory like a ship?
I was on a ship for my first memory.
All my memories fit on one boat. Sometimes I have to throw some
Hang on,
overboard.
let me visit my memory ship.
Hold on. Let me go.
I have to call it into port.
I never got on a ship. No, my first memory, but I don't know. That's I hate that question. Yeah, no, I mean, so my first memory is of me waking up to not even waking up. Like I remember like reaching into my pool to grab my sister's hair. So she was drowning. She was like, I don't know, like she was young, like super young. I was probably like 5 or 6. Like I think that's
Are you
honestly.
the oldest sibling?
No, middle. So I have an older sister who's a year older, but so we used to have this the house I grew up in. We had this like patio that like it went out to the above ground pool. My dad had built it out, so like you could walk out and just like jump in the pool. But there's a point where we had just built it, and my little sister was super young. She had walked outside and just like roamed into the pool, and I was like sitting there just chilling, and I saw her go in, and no one noticed, but she was like drowning, and so I like ran over and then I like grabbed her by the hair and then pulled her out. That was my first memory. So like it's like
It's a really intense young memory to have.
no,
for
but
sure.
that's where it flashes on. Like it's the furthest back I can remember.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
for
isn't that
sure.
so interesting? Like,
It might, yeah, you can't think like in the moment, like what's my very,
No,
very first. I don't
yeah.
really know either.
it's like tutorial mode in a video game.
Yeah,
the
like-
first 5 years, you're just like,
Whoa.
Right.
pick up the thing,
Yeah.
There's a scientific reason for that.
take it, and let it slide down your throat hole.
Maybe we have like a tendency toward progress. Like you gotta move away from past self to better future self.
Yeah, I
somehow.
don't know.
Yeah.
No, I just
Or we
meant,
have
like, more, like,
shifting.
language, but I don't know.
Oh, because you think of things in words, so you almost
But you
need
would have developed
words.
language by 2. So
No.
if I looked it up, you could probably find.
You don't develop language by 2.
People
Yeah, I
have
was-
language by 2.
But
Yeah, for
you-
sure. I was talking.
I mean, like I
You're
knew
not talking
words.
You're not
at
talking in
2.
thoughts. You're talking in words at 2, right? So you're saying like milk.
No,
Yeah, but
you're saying more than that at
developing
2.
language, why is that?
But I
You
think
can
it's
speak in sentences.
more
too.
significantly it's the difference between learning language and learning like memory. So like you can have a
Oh, shit, I
memory.
can memorize things.
You can like when you
It's like a
remember
car.
something, it's a combination of like language and images. Like I think that you have like a memory typically is like not just what happened, but like what you were able to make sense of happening. So like just because a thing happened doesn't make it matter, doesn't make it memorable. What makes it memorable, I think, is like
Comprehension.
yes,
Well,
absolutely.
it'll be like Helen Keller experiencing shit and having no idea until she understood, like, oh wait, water
Right.
is called water,
right.
kind of.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it's just a different. You have a more complex understanding once you learn how to associate from things in your past. Like the example that the post-structuralists always use is like or that I don't know if they always use it, but the one that's common to an understanding of post-structuralism, deconstruction, and postmodernism is a field goal or a free throw. Right? If I tell you a free throw, your brain just did fucking backflips to understand what I mean. You have to understand what a basketball is. You have to understand what a hoop is and a backboard. The
An
rules of
entire
that
game,
game.
right,
The
yeah.
place where it's played.
Right.
The superstructure of a whole
The honor
industry.
of the game
Right.
system.
Everything. What a player
The
looks
morale
like.
of-
Yeah. What a shot looks like. What it means
or
to score.
more simply, you just associate free
A
throw
game?
with the idea,
Gaming.
right? Like the idea of this is an opportunity to make a shot.
Or to be an
Right, like-
honorary.
Yeah, it's like there's
Yeah.
almost no way to understand
Right.
it without. You can just see it happen, and I can say free throw,
But it's
and
almost
you'll
like-
associate that thing that happened right there
Right.
with the term free
Right.
throw, but you'll have no
But
comprehension of that.
mythologically, it's almost like killing Medusa, or like it's like the thing of the perfect, the hero completing the thing, right? Like free throw is the idea of getting the thing in.
Well, in terms of understanding,
It's like
so,
a huge complex system of symbols that
Right.
goes into an understanding of one tiny little event.
right, but like that's language.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
But that's language
right.
over time,
That's why it's
actually.
so powerful. That's why
That's-
humans are different from dogs and
Yeah,
whatever.
super powerful.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's more so why humans are different from other humans. Like, it's like not every human understands what a free throw is,
Yeah.
right?
It's so true.
Yeah.
So true, yeah. So true.
Watch like their Inside Out now, 'cause this